What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Lockdown 23-1.
I've been told that the jury's reached a verdict. Is that correct?
On December 6, 2014, a 19-year-old teenager was found walking down the side of a road in Mississippi, engulfed in flames. She ended up dying the next day at a Memphis hospital, and the man charged for the crime was Quinton Tellis. Someone that she knew, actually. She knew this man, and she knew his name, Quinton. And that's a key factor in this case, ladies and gentlemen. While she was on fire and going to the paramedics, she told them that the person who did its name was Eric. How the hell can Quinton done it if she said a guy named Eric did it? But the evidence against Quinton Tellis is pretty damn strong. The cell phone tower pinged them pretty much right next to each other during the murder. But keep in mind, the cell towers only pick up between 10 to 20 square miles, so they could have been some miles separating them. Number two, he was at a gas station before the murder. Okay, yeah, he could have used the gas that he got at the gas station to torch the vehicle and the girl. Yeah, it's a possibility. But there's plenty of other people that are just getting gas, for their cars. So that's kind of, not really a strong piece of evidence. But this is a piece of evidence that doesn't sit well with me. He had burn marks on his arms that he claimed came from a bonfire. The key thing here is there was text messages and phone calls between the two, so she probably knew his first name, but still she said the guy that torched the car before she died's name was Eric. Now, before I press play, please keep this in mind. This is a jury trial, and the jury has to be unanimous. They all have to be on one accord saying he's either guilty or not guilty. But like you're about to see, there's obviously no checks and balances with this.
I have been informed that the jury has reached a verdict in this case.
Yes, they have, Your Honor. We have,
My standard admonishment to spectators in the courtroom is that there absolutely be no outburst of any kind from anyone.
Yes, sir.
There will certainly be no displays of emotion.
I think it's a good time for a good old courtroom analysis from the lost city of Atlantis, the Voss of Kings. Their lips have touched this spout, and now the judge pours his white lightning with it. Damn, these judges, they love driving them drop tops, don't they?
Please remember this is a court of law, and I would expect you to dignify that as best you can.
Yes, sir.
I understand that this has been a very emotional time for families and loved ones in this case. I understand all that very perfectly. This court has a heart like any other person. And I understand both sides, both families that are involved and friends. I understand all of that. At the same time, I'm going to ask you and remind you to dignify these court proceedings accordingly. All right, if you bring the jury in, please.
Bring this ragtag crew on in.
I've been told that the jury's reached a verdict. Is that correct? Did you all select a foreman? All right, sir. Let's see. Mr. Lampkin, is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. I don't need to know what your verdict was, but I just need to know, did all 12 jurors agree on that verdict?
Yes, sir, we did.
All right. Would you?
Did all 12 jurors agree with this verdict? Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we did. We damn sure did.
Hand the verdict, please, to the court, to the clerk. Excuse me.
We all didn't agree on it.
What was that?
Sir?
You said we all agreed on that verdict. We didn't.
All 12, the verdict has to be unanimous, so all 12 did not agree on the verdict? Is that what you're telling me, sir?
Yeah, I didn't agree he was in.
All right. I'd ask you to step back into the jury room, please. Pass the verdict, please, to the clerk that you have in your hand. Give them the jury instruction back.
Someone read these damn idiots the instructions again. If I was in Quinton's shoes, I'd be feeling really good because that's a sign of a hung jury. They're not even on the same page with the verdict. How are you going to come out saying you got one, but multiple people in the jury are saying we didn't agree to this shit? That's what I was saying about the checks and balances, man. They got to have something in place, right? It makes me feel like maybe there's someone that was kind of leading the whole situation in the back with the jurors, trying to pull one over on them. Or it could have just been some kind of simple mistake and they thought they had a verdict and they didn't, but I just don't see that happen. All right, jury coming in for the second time.
I've been informed that the jury has reached a verdict. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And I need to ask you if that verdict represents the considered judgment of all 12 jurors. In other words, is it unanimous?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, has that verdict been recorded on a separate sheet of paper?
Yes, Your Honor.
Would you pass it to the clerk, please? Will the clerk please read the verdict?
We, the jury, find the defendant, Quinton Tellis, not guilty of capital murder.
Right.
Not guilty.
Any request of counsel?
Yes, sir. Request the jury be polled.
All right. I need my list. Oh, thank you.
The family is crushed. They can't believe that this guy is found innocent. Now keep in mind, it had to be unanimous, meaning all of them had to believe he was not guilty. So they do have a little bit of checks and balances just to make sure, and this is one of them. They go down the line and ask each and every single one of those jurors one by one personally, on record and recorded, if they believe he's guilty or not guilty, just to make sure that it is all unanimous. And like I said, you can see this family is broken, but the emotional roller coaster is not over yet.
It's been requested the jury be polled. In other words, I'm going to start down here. I'm going to ask each one of you if that is your verdict. You just need to tell me yes or no, okay? All right. Ms. Martin?
Not guilty.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Madison?
Not guilty.
McGee?
Guilty. I'm sorry.
Mr. Lampkin?
Guilty.
Y'all hear this shit? The first two girls said not guilty. The second guy says guilty. Not guilty. What the hell's going on here? And he didn't even stop him. He just went on.
Ms. Madison?
Not guilty.
McGee?
Guilty. I'm sorry.
Mr. Lampkin?
Guilty.
Mr. Johnson?
Jackson.
Jackson? I'm sorry. It says Johnson.
They're getting the names wrong. People are saying guilty. People are saying not guilty. Everything is all messed up. No one's in one accord here. They don't even have the jurors write names on the paper for the judge.
All right, Mr. Johnson. All right, thank you. Ms. Felder?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Goss? Ms. Boyd? Is that a yes, ma'am? All right. Mr. Jones?
Guilty.
Mr. Coleman?
Guilty.
Mr. McKinley?
Guilty.
Mr. Bullock? Ms. Bullock, excuse me. All right.
Sir, I'm way misunderstanding here.
I can't, I was having trouble hearing.
You ain't troubled here, bruh. They ain't together here.
All right. You may approach.
Actually, no, I don't think he knows what the
It's very
hell's going
important
on.
we understand what your response is. And so I'm going to ask you to speak loudly so that I can hear you. The verdict that I have recorded here is we, the jury, find the defendant not guilty. So I'm going to ask you, Ms. Gauze, is not guilty your verdict?
Yes. Yes.
Boyd.
Are you asking?
I'm asking you if you voted not guilty.
I voted guilty.
You voted guilty. All right. Mr. Jones.
Oh,
I voted
man.
guilty.
All right. Mr. Coleman.
I voted guilty.
All right. Mr. McKinley.
I voted guilty.
Ms. Bullock.
I voted guilty.
All right. Ms. Martin.
Not guilty.
All right. Ms. Madison.
I voted guilty.
All right. Mr. McGee.
Not guilty.
Mr. Lampkin.
Guilty.
Mr. Johnson.
Jackson. Not guilty.
Ms. Felder.
He still got his name wrong. Jesus. Johnson. Jackson. Man. Jackson. But look, Madison was a girl too. She was like the first one to speak on the first round of questions, and she said not guilty, if I remember correctly. I ain't never seen no stuff like this before in my life, man. Just imagine how much other stuff that got messed up on people's cases.
All right.
Hung jury.
May I see the jury instructions, please? It is very important that you all try again to reach a verdict, all right? Obviously, there's a split between you all as to the verdict in this case. I'm going to read you the instruction again.
Read it to them damn
Give you
idiots.
some more time to deliberate. I don't know why the verdict was recorded as it was.
Why?
At any rate, I'm going to ask you to go back, consider your verdict, deliberate, and please record your verdict accurately, all right?
So that's the end of the clip, but it turns out an hour later, the jury comes back without a verdict. They couldn't decide. It was declared a mistrial. September 24, 2018, they go in for a second trial, and still yet again, the jury was unable to reach a verdict and it was declared a mistrial once again. Prosecutors still have a chance to retry him for a third time, and it very well could possibly happen. But right now, he's in prison on unrelated charges. In February 2019, Tellis was indicted on a murder charge in the death of Mang Chen. Hopefully I pronounced that right, by another female. Picture that. Anyways, let me know in the comments section how you felt about the video, and if you're new to the channel, please do not forget to hit that like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave.